Hi, good morning, make my day a sunshine day. Yeah, you didn't want to be greeted by my singing, did you? Good morning, and how are we all today? I hope you're all having a lovely morning so far. My name is Sandra, my channel is called Sussex Sandra, and welcome. So, for those of you who have joined my channel recently, hi and welcome. I am a woman of a certain age group. I am 50 years old. I'm obviously melanin infused. So on my channel, I like to talk and discuss anything to do with beauty, basically to see how it affects me. So my main characteristics, obviously, I'm a woman of colour. Hello. Yes, I am an older woman, so I am 50 years old, approaching 51 very quickly. Unusually, I have got very oily skin. You can see I have got some pigmentation, hyperpigmentation. Not many blemishes at the moment, actually. I'm doing all right on the blemishes front, but so yeah, my skin is doing all right. Cross those fingers. But at the moment, yeah, it's just the hyperpigmentation, which will always be there, but it's a lot better than it used to be. I mean, if you look at my videos from like a year ago, you can see what my skin used to look like. Okay, so I do things to do with beauty, makeup, anything that affects me, but I do try to give my opinion how I think the product did or how it affects me and how I think it would affect people who have got opposite characteristics to me. So for example, if you've got dry skin, or if you're younger, you know, if you're light skin, fair skin, that sort of thing. Yeah, all right, so today I am doing a foundation review. I love doing foundation reviews. When I do my foundation reviews, I give a little bit of information about the product. I look at its claims, I apply it, I do a wear test, because that's an important thing for someone who has got very oily skin, and then I'll come back and give you my my thoughts on how that product performed on that day. Do remember that it is usually a first impression. I haven't tried the product out over a long period of time yet, so it is literally a first impression. If the product does particularly badly or just does really weird, I may go in and give it a second chance, especially if I think, well, if I've seen that on other people, other YouTubers, I've seen that product has performed completely differently. I will think, well, wait a minute, that's not right, and I'll try and go in and give it a second chance if I can. Is that all right? Does that give you a little bit of background? Yeah? Good, let's continue. So today I am doing the sort of more recently released, it's been released about a month and a half now, nearly 2 months maybe, the Urban Decay Stay Naked. Now, lucky me, I didn't even have to purchase this foundation. I was gifted it. I know. And it was actually from one of my subscribers who gave it to me. I won't give her real name, I'll just give her her social media name. It was Trolley Dolly 70. She gifted this to me. I think she actually got it for herself, but she saw that I was very similar colouring to myself, and she said, "No, do you want to try this out?" And I was like, "Yeah, you sure?" She was like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so she gave it to me. I'm pretty certain the colour is going to be alright, because this is the colour I think I would have gone for anyway. So it's 80NN, so neutral, I think that stands for. As you can see, I am melanin skin. I tend to go for shades that are dark or beginning of the deep. I am a neutral undertone, so not cool as in yellow. I'm not warm as in sort of red undertone. Very much neutral. If you want to know how to tell if you are a neutral undertone, I think the best way to tell is by looking at your veins. And I'm trying to remember how they say. I know if you are neutral undertoned, your veins will be sort of both greeny and blue. I think that's right, or greeny purpley. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not sure if you can tell by looking at that, because it's quite bright sunlight. Nope, you can't really tell. Ooh, was that better? I don't know if you can tell, but you can sort of look on my veins there. Kind of got a greeny tint and a bluish tint, so it's not the best because the lighting's a bit off, but yeah, that's how you can tell. Also, if you're neutral, you can wear both gold and silver. Gold and silver looks decent on you, and all of those are true. So that is me. I'm a true neutral. Let's read and see what the claims are about this foundation. So I'm looking on the urbandecay.co.uk website. The prices I give will be in UK pound sterling, and what they say about this product is, so in the UK the foundation costs £29.50. They are 50 shades. Yay, yay to Urban Decay. Well done for that. It's called the Stay Naked Foundation, obviously. Let me take it out of its bottle so you can admire its design. It's actually a really attractive design, actually. Look at that design. It's kind of almost luxurious looking. This is acrylic. And this is like a rose gold, well, it's more like a bronzy gold lid. Yeah, the bright sunlight is not helping me today, is it? Okay. Then you've got the Urban Decay in gold on there, and the design kind of goes in, so it's like a beveled in style, and I think it's normal 30 mils. I think it's a 30 mils, and it's got a 12-month shelf life once opened. Right, so it says about the product, product description. So it is a vegan formula, build up medium coverage foundation with a real skin matte finish that lasts up to 24 hours. I won't be testing it for 24 hours. Probably when I do a wear test, it's probably going to be sort of between 6 to 10 hours. Find your naked truth with Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. We designed this lineup of 50 shades with 9 shade intensities, 3 master tones and 7 undertones to dial in your precise color match. Our waterproof longwear foundation feels like wearing nothing thanks to a flexible formula that feels breathable and moves with you all day and all night up to 24 hours. It not only feels better, it even looks better with its Stay True color, which minimizes the appearance of pores so you always look like you. Some powerful claims there. It's a vegan formula, does not contain any animal derived ingredients or byproducts, and it's 30 fluid ounces. They say you can, if you want light coverage, use a brush. They're saying their own brush. If you want medium coverage, use a blending sponge or a blurring brush, and full coverage, use a flat brush. Okay, and there you go. Yeah, let's crack on and do this, shall we? I have already moisturized. I've already put on SPF. I've already put on my primers. When I do my primer, because I have got oily skin, I do a double prime. So I'll put an all over face sort of normal primer, and then I'll put a mattifying primer in my central T-zone area. So up here, this area here, down my nose and my upper cheeks, down here and down there. So the mattifying primer will go down there, and the mattifying primer I used was the Becca Evermatte Perfecting Poreless Primer. This one. This is what I always use. And the all over face primer, I'll use loads of different products depending on what I've got. At the moment, my all over face primer is, I'm using a mixture of 2. So today I put on this one, which I got in a glossy box a couple of months ago. It's from Avant, and it's a Pro Perfecting Collagen Primer. Okay, so that's what I've got on. All right, ready? So what I'm going to do half my face with a brush, half my face with a sponge, and then we'll do the time of application. Okay, one sponge, and we need a brush. Let's get a brush. Right, so I've got a beauty blender. It's one of those sapphire ones, and I've got a NYX professional makeup brush. This is a multi-purpose brush. This brush is fantastic. I love it. You can get this from Boots, I think I bought it from online, and I think the various online stores sell this as well. It's about £14. Great brush, really, really good. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm actually really looking forward to trying this foundation, because I've looked at other people who have tried it and they have absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So I'm kind of hoping. I've tried various foundations during the summer, because we're now officially in autumn. Yeah, this colour is going to be great. Look at that. That's a nice neutral undertone for me there. So the foundations I've tried, I bought in summer and tried, was the Juvias Place I Am Magic. I did the Pure Cosmetics 4-in-1 Selfie. I did the Uoma, what's that one called? Can't remember what that was called. Say What foundation. And what else did I do? I did the Dose of Colours Meet Your Hue foundation. Of all of those foundations, my favourite one for the summer, definitely by far, has been the Juvia's Place foundation I Am Magic, and it's also the cheapest foundation. Unfortunately, it's not available in the UK, so I had to purchase it online from Juvias place, got it shipped over. So in total, the foundation, even though the foundation cost $20 with the shipping and everything, I didn't do the shipping through my shipping company, which was my mistake. I made them ship it to me directly, which was a mistake. So I got it shipped, I got a customs charge for it, so it cost me £40 in total. So that was my fault. I should have just shipped it through my normal shipping company, ship it to, and do it that way. But there you go. So I'm really hoping that they do bring it over here, bring that foundation over here, because it is a great foundation for anyone who's got dry skin, normal skin, combination and oily. Really, really good foundation. Anyway, let me stop talking. Let's put this on. Yep, perfect colour. Oh wow, this is a perfect skin match. Well done. I almost said her name just then. Trolley Dolly 17. Fantastic. This is a really, look at that as a colour match. Now that is what I call a colour match. Look at that. That is good. So just again, that was shade 80NN in the I Am Magic foundation. I am shade, let me tell you. I am in the I Am Magic foundation. I am shade Togo 210. Yep. Give you some. I'll list down some of my other shades which I wear in foundations. I'll put that in the description so you know if you want to use me as a color reference. So it's blending out nicely, so that's very promising. It's my second day back at work today. I had 2 weeks off. I must apologise that I didn't do many videos whilst I was off. I had a few things going on which I might talk about in another video, which kind of distracted me somewhat. Some of you know what those things are. And whilst I'm at it, can I say thank you to, her social media name is Mui Monet. I can never get her name right. Mui Met Monique. Thank you for the card that you sent me. I really appreciate that. I got that yesterday and it just did make me cry a little bit when I saw it. Okay, that's the sponge on that side. Right, doing the brush side now. So it's about one full pump I'm putting on each side. Tell you what, I'm really loving this colour, so that's a positive straight away. Right, this is a foundation you can buff on and you can stipple in, so I'm seeing that, and it goes on well with a sponge and a brush. So when you see me do this, it's when I'm pressing in, so that's stippling it in. I tend to do that with foundation which I'm not so certain about what its staying power is going to be, but this you can buff on and you can stipple in. Okay, and you can see on this side already that it's drying to a nice skin-like finish. Oh, this foundation might be challenging Juvia's place here. Oh, I said that about the Dose of Colours, but I'm already saying this is going on better than the Dose of Colours one. And I say it's about equal to the Juvia's place in application so far. Okay, so in application, how they both look, sponge and brush looks lovely. This actually does look like a very much a natural skin-like finish. I don't look like I'm actually wearing anything, even though I know I am, because my skin looks perfect and I haven't got perfect skin. This looks good, guys. Oh, I'm excited. Let me give you the time of application. Right, it's 8:51. Let's get my clock app up. Okay, here we go. So it's 8:51. I've got to leave in about 10 minutes because I'm chairing a meeting in mid Sussex, which is about 40-minute drive away, but if I'm hitting traffic it might take me an hour, so I need to get there on time. Right, but that looks good. Yeah, so it's 8:51, time of application. I'm going to put my under eye highlighter on. I'm going to set my face with powder. You'll notice, particularly if you watch my channel all the time, in the summer what I tend to do with primer, I normally set my primer with powder because it is so hot, and I try to hold back the oils as much as possible. You notice that I didn't do that today because weather is much cooler now. They're saying the temperature might only get up to about 20 degrees today. Excuse me. So I shouldn't be, hopefully I shouldn't be that oily if the foundation is as good as it says. So I didn't set my face with primer. This is a natural, this is my normal application. SPF, primers, I put foundation on, and then I set the powder, and then I use a setting spray as well. So I'm going to do all of that, and I'll come back with my finished look at the end. So see you in a bit. Okay, right, sorry about this lighting, guys. It's just a very bright morning. So this is the final look. The old wig has come back out now that I'm back at work. So yeah, so this is the final look. I will come back hopefully, I don't know, about 7, 8, maybe possibly 9 hours time, and I'll give you my final thoughts of how this foundation, this Urban Decay Stay Naked foundation, has performed. But so far it's looking good. I've got fingers crossed for this one because it's applied beautifully. Alright, I'll see you all later. Hi, good evening. I am back. I've done a full day's wear test of the Urban Decay Stay Naked 24-hour weightless, it's got a long name, what is it? Stay Naked weightless liquid foundation, up to 24-hour wear. So I've done about, I don't know, 8-9 hours now of wearing this foundation. What time is it now? Okay, here we go. See if I can get this more central. Here we go. So here we go. It's can you see that? It's gone up to 6:45. I put this foundation on, well, I finished applying it just before 9 o'clock this morning. So it's 9. Oh, it's nearly 10 hours wear. Well, that's not bad for me, is it? Yeah, so nearly 10 hours wear. This is how the foundation is looking so far. So let me bring you in closer. Yes, I am oily, but I can tell you now, I haven't blotted all day. I literally haven't had time to blot all day. So this is how the foundation is looking as we speak. All right, okay, let's go back out. When I do my end of day thoughts about a foundation, I use a system that I created called TOPS, and that's just my rating system for just how I categorize foundations. So the TOPS stands for, the T stands for transfer, whether the foundation transfers at all. The O stands for oil control, so how well has the foundation controlled my oils. The first P stands for performance, so how did the foundation apply? Did it blend well? How did it work with other products? Did it melt? Did it fade? Did it separate? So these are sort of oily girl issues that tend to happen. And any other things. So did anything weird happen with the foundation at all during the day? The second P stands for price, so how does the foundation compare in price to other products that are similar to it? And finally, the S stands for the shade range. So what's the shade range like, considering what the product is and how they market themselves. So let me go through this. I can say straight away, when I applied this foundation this morning, I loved it. It applied beautifully. It applied really well with both the foundation okay, so let's go through this. So when I do the first two categories, transfer and oil, I do use blotting sheets. I'm not sure how many is left here, but I do use blotting sheets here. With me, I mean, I'm an oily skinned person, so it doesn't matter what foundation I wear, I am going to have oil show through at some point during the day. If the oil comes through after 4 hours, that is good. As far as I'm concerned, that is good. If it comes through sort of before 3 hours, then okay, this foundation maybe not so great for someone with oily skin, and then I judge to see how the foundation performs after that. But I always expect oil to come through, usually sort of between hours 4 and 6. The oil's going to come through at some point. So let's have a look at the transfer. Today I did have to wear my inspection clothing. I'm a food hygiene inspector, so I'm what they call an environmental health officer in England, and I specialise in food hygiene and health and safety, but mainly food hygiene. And when I do my inspections, I have to wear a white coat, so a protective coat, and I wear a white hat. So one of the quickest ways for me to find out if the foundation transfers or not is just by looking at my white hat to see if the foundation has transferred onto the rim of the white hat. All foundations do. It's a case of like, how much does it transfer through? You know what I mean? So let's do this. So here's sheet 1. As I said, I expect to see hopefully no more than 3-4 of these sheets. Anything more than that, then it's not so great. So let's have a look, see what we got going on here. Okay, that's not too bad actually for oil. I mean, I've put on some sheets and it just soaked through with oil. So that's sheet 1, and that is mainly oil. Yeah, there is some transfer, but that is mainly oil, to be honest. That's sheet 1. Let's do sheet 2. Okay, that's sheet 2. So you can see there, oil and foundation again. Let's get the other sheets out. So on the outer rim of my face, this is where my skin is more what I'd call normal. There was no oil there at all. It literally is just in this center part of my face. Okay, so that's sheet 3. Oh wow, this is the last sheet here, so I have got some more blotting sheets, but this is the last one. But I think I am actually just mopping up here. I think that is me done. So I've used 4 sheets there, and all the sheets have got oil and foundation on them. The first sheet was mainly oil, that was on my forehead, but the sheets around, particularly around the upper cheeks and my nose area, had foundation on them. So that's what I expect, to be honest. So to me, that was fine, especially after sort of what, a 9.5, nearly 10-hour wear day. That is not too bad at all. So if I'm going to judge this on transfer, there was some transfer onto my white hat when I wore it this afternoon. Not much though, considering. And that again, this, I know it might seem really gross to some of you, but for me that's not too bad at all. I have seen a lot worse. So I think for transfer, it does transfer once the oils come through. There's no doubt about that. But I'm going to say for that, that's not too bad. So I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10 because I've had a lot worse. So that's a 7 out of 10. Oil control, not too bad again. I didn't really start noticing the oil until I was having lunch. So we're looking at about 1:30. That's when I started noticing the oil coming through again in this upper cheek area here on my nose. So by that point we're already on what, 4.5 hours. So again, that's not bad again. So for oil control, I'm going to give it sort of 7.5, 8. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 again, because that to me is not bad at all. Performance wise, right, so when I'm looking at performance, I'm looking at if it fades, melts, separates, and how it applied. It applied beautifully with the sponge and with the brush. I think the final finish looked lovely. It was a really lovely natural skin finish. I love the final finish of this foundation. If you didn't know any better of what my skin is actually like, you would actually say that was just my naked skin. Go by the name, there we go. It didn't look like I had any foundation on at all. And you know, sometimes when you put foundation on, your face looks blank and it looks like you need to put some other things on just to fill your face back in again. So your face can look very flat and matte when you put on some foundations. You need to start filling it in, putting all the other things in. Even when I had when I just had the foundation on by itself, I still think it looked perfectly fine as it was. So I think in performance and how it applied, how it looked, I think excellent. It hasn't, it's getting closer so you can have a look for yourself so you can see. There's my mirror. Right. It has faded a bit, again, not surprised after a long day. So it has faded. Still see a little bit of the contour, can't really see the blush and highlighter anymore. I can still see a bit of the contour though. The foundation has, yeah, it's faded around the perimeter, I would say. That's just me doing all my touching as usual on my face. And around my nose it has faded, so it doesn't look flawless anymore. You can see around my face, you can start seeing my skin peek through here. Start seeing that natural, you know, you can see the difference in colours along here. So it has faded around here. Under my eyes, are looking a little bit dry, but that could be the concealer and the foundation actually. So I think both together I'm looking, yeah, you can see sort of creasing and just my tired eyes underneath. So there is fading under there. So that's the foundation and the concealer together. It felt really light and comfortable. I haven't felt oily all day, I must admit. I mean, I knew I was oily sort of this evening. I knew that I was looking oily, but I really didn't bother to block because I knew I'd be leaving to go home soon enough. It's just been a very comfortable and light foundation to wear. I've loved how it's looked. It's looked fine for me. There were no horror moments when I sort of went to the toilet, looked in the mirror and was like, ah! There's none of that. I've actually just been really happy with how this foundation has performed, to be honest. So I think for performance, I'm actually going to give this, considering the time of day and the kind of skin I have, because I have got very oily skin, I'm going to give this, I'm going to give this an 8.5, 9. Oh, 8.5 or 9. How am I feeling? Let's compare this to the Juvias. I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10 because I think it's performed pretty well. I'm really pleased with this foundation, how it's performed. It's performed better than the Dose of Colour. Has it performed better than Juvia's Place? Oh, it's very similar. Now I can't remember what I gave the Juvia's Place. It's on par with the Juvia's Place. I don't know if I should give it an 8.5 or a 9. I'm just pleased with how it's performed. Price wise, it's £29.50. All the sites I've looked at, it is £29.50. So it's more expensive than Juvia's Place because that's $20, and this is $29.50 as well. So it's the same price in the UK and in the US. So it's a lot more expensive than a Juvia's Place because I'm going to compare to that because that is my top ranking foundation at the moment. More expensive than that. It's more expensive than other foundations in the same bracket. So I'm thinking of Fenty, but this is much better than a Fenty foundation. I haven't tried any of the new foundations. Well, I'm not going to try the hydrating one because I know it's not for my skin. It's more expensive than a Dose of Colours, but I think it's performed better than a Dose of Colours. It's the same price as the Uoma foundation, but it's performed a hell of a lot better than that. What else did I do? Pure Causemetics one, I can't remember how much that one was. Again, probably around the same price. So I think for the foundations in its bracket, in that sort of £25 to £30 bracket, it's up there on the price. It really is up there on the price because it's literally just under £30. But it's performed really well and I'm quite happy with it, and I would pay. I would pay. I mean, I'd be happy if it was £26, but no, I'd buy this foundation again. So for price, I am going to give it an 8 out of 10 because it is up there, even though it's a good product. Shade range, well, there's 50 shades available. They've got all these different undertones and master tones and undertones and all sorts of different things like that. I think it's quite easy to find your shade match using their app and going by their descriptions. I actually didn't find any difficulty in looking at the shades because when I did it myself, I was gifted this foundation, but when I was looking at the foundation myself and was choosing the shade, it naturally took me to 80NN. So I actually think it's a very easy shade match. It's quite easy to do a shade match, and for me it's worked out absolutely perfect. So I think for shade range and how easy it is to find your shade, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. That's pretty good. I don't know what the total score is, but I know for me my pass mark when it comes to foundations is 35, and I'm pretty certain it's past 35. Overall, this is a foundation I think is suitable for all skin tones. If you're oily, I think it's great. If you're an oily skinned person, you'll love this foundation. If you are a dry skinned person, because it is a long wear foundation and it does have a natural matte finish, you will probably need to make sure you've got your moisturizer. If you use a primer, make sure you've got a hydrating primer. Just make sure you do your moisturizing underneath, because it is, for me, this is a perfect foundation. So if you're dry skinned, I can imagine that you will need your moisturizing afterwards. Probably some pore filling ones as well, and some blurring effect moisturizing priming as well. If you know you've got fine lines, do consider that, because foundations like this that are long wear matte, they do tend to sink into fine lines. They do say that it's blurring. I can't attest to that at all because it's not an issue that I have. But if you've got dry skin, do check that out. Make sure you, and also look at people on YouTube who have got dry skin as well, so people who you know who've got the same kind of skin type as you. Check them out and see if they've reviewed this foundation and how they've got on with it. You're particularly looking for people who have done wear tests rather than people who are just putting it on first time and that's it, because it's the wear test that you really want. But for us oily skinned people, this is a good foundation. I will trust this. I'm quite happy to wear this. I'm very confident with this as well. Right, let me know what you think. This is a foundation I like. It's available at quite a few sites in the UK. So we've got Urban Decay UK, they've got their own site. Look Fantastic sell it as well. There's quite a few sites, so if you've got any discount codes, look them up. Try not to pay the full price for it if you can. So try and use them. Also, don't forget, if you're going to buy from places like Look Fantastic or Feel Unique, I've got the Quidco thing down below, and that will give you cash back. So with Look Fantastic at the moment, you can get cash back of 11%, and they've always got codes as well. If you register with Look Fantastic, there's always a code, usually something like 20%, 15% or 20%. So if you play smart, you can get your 20% off, plus you can get your 11% cash back as well. You know what I mean? So now you could be getting what, 30% off the price of this, so that's nearly 10 quid off. So get the foundation for 20 quid. Play smart, don't pay full price for anything. Look for cash back, look for discount codes. They're always floating around, especially for sites like Look Fantastic. But overall, really like this foundation. I like it a lot, and it is one that I will wear, particularly when the Juvias Place one finishes, which, believe it or not, I've actually nearly finished it because I've used it throughout the summer. So yeah, this will be the one that will take over from the Juvias Place one when I've finished. Alright, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. How do you think this foundation has performed on me? Because I've given my opinion. What you think. Is this a foundation that you would consider, considering that I think it's more for people who have got normal combination oily, not so much for dry skin? So let me know what you think. Is it something that you're willing to try? Have you tried it? How did you find it? Let me know. And again, thank you very much, Denise, for sending me this, or for giving me this. Really appreciated. Love it. Thanks very much. Right guys, I will see you soon. I've actually got unboxings sitting here to do. I've had these sitting here for a while here. Glossy box and oh, what's the other one? Look Fantastic. So I'll try and do these, film those tomorrow morning, and that means they'll probably be up tomorrow evening. All right, take care guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you haven't done so already, give me a thumbs up down below, and if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? I'm giving you all of this. All you got to do is press the subscribe button down below and the little notification bell, and that'll make sure that you're notified when I do my next upload. All right, take care, see you soon. Cheerio.